welcome to the Fans of Wrestling show, where we do a weekly review of all things wrestling. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about Friday Night SmackDown. So it was a pretty alright show. A few things that I liked about the show, and we're going to talk about it right now, so let's break it down. Alright, we're going to start off with the first match, and that was an 8-man tag match. Listen, you can see the guys that are in this match right here. We've seen a few things from this for the last few weeks, but this match was really good. I really liked it because of the athleticism that was going on here. I love to see the Usos back. They're such a great presence when they wrestle. It was pretty much back and forth throughout the whole match. We saw Morrison do some cool outside maneuvers that actually got blocked. Listen, it ended with the Usos getting the win. I think Jimmy Uso super kicked Roode. And that was the end for the match. For me, it was a really cool match. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It was really entertaining. It wasn't a bad way to start the show. Now we're going to start with the second match of the night, and that was the Symphony of Destruction match with Braun Strowman, Shinsuke Nakamura, Elias, and Cesaro. I mean, all I can say is this match was ridiculous as far as the stipulations. It was like a false count anywhere match. They used all these orchestra weapons and drums and guitars and cellos. You can see right here, Braun Strowman was going to use that weapon against Sami Zayn, but was stopped and got suplexed from Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro right on top of that, and it crashed. I mean, that was pretty wild. But Braun Strowman with a power slam right on top of the piano that did not give. And I mean, Shinsuke hit the floor. Braun Strowman was able to get the 1, 2, 3, and they got the wins. For me, I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. I thought it was pretty entertaining, and especially that it had a silly stipulation. It was somewhat of a good match, and that ending was brutal when I saw Shinsuke take that bump on top of the piano. I actually laughed. I was like, whoa, that was pretty sick. So, 4 out of 5. All right, now we're going to move over to the moment of Bliss, where Alexa Bliss announces that the Bella Twins are there. They both come out. We both know, if you didn't know already, that they're both pregnant, about a week apart. And now they're being inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. So, I mean, congratulations to them. There's a lot of backlash I heard on Twitter. A lot of people were saying that that was crazy and outrageous, that there's other wrestlers. I'm sure there are other wrestlers, but they were inducted, and that's it. Congratulations to them. And, I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the future if they even want to come back and wrestle. So that would be pretty cool too. So again, congratulations to them. All right, we're going to move over to the next match, and that was Daniel Bryan and Heath Slater. Now, this actually happened a few weeks ago. We saw Heath Slater said some comments to Daniel Bryan, which caused Daniel Bryan to fight him, and he pretty much annihilated him. Now, this was actually another altercation that happened backstage with Heath Slater, but this time it had Drew Gulak who was involved. It was basically saying he had a PowerPoint presentation that would basically show Daniel Bryan his faults. So Daniel Bryan was actually intrigued, but then Heath Slater was actually right there and challenged Daniel Bryan to another match. So that's what led to here. And to be honest with you, to start off, the match was actually pretty good. Heath Slater came out hot. He had a good head start. He was leading the match majority of the time. He went to the top rope, and I believe Drew Gulak was like, "What are you doing? Get down, get down." And sure enough, no water was in the pool. Daniel Bryan was able to get the win. It was a pretty cool setup. I like how they did the match. It was definitely good to see Heath Slater get some TV time. And it also is good for Daniel Bryan to continue telling his story of getting back on track. For me, I'm going to give the match a 3 out of 5. It wasn't a long match. It definitely didn't tell a great story, but I did like the storyline, and it was cool to see Daniel Bryan get the win and move forward to see what's going to happen towards WrestleMania. All right, we're going to finish it off with the main event of the night, and that was for the number 1 contendership. It's Carmella versus Naomi. Now, this was actually a really great match. They put on a good show. Considering that was the main event, we were going to hear from Goldberg later on in the show, which at the end, but this match, told a great story. We both know that Carmella wanted another shot because she was cheated out, which she definitely deserved it. I was actually rooting for Carmella because I wanted to see her get another shot, at least a fair win or a loss or something. But Naomi is also another competitor who I like to see win, and she did just that. She gave her the rear end. Actually, Carmella kicked out. So the storytelling in this was great. I really liked it. For me, I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 5. They did a really good job. It wasn't a super long match, but it did tell a great story within the amount of time that they had. And yeah, great job. And Naomi getting the win is now the #1 contender. Will face Bayley at Super Showdown, which they're going to be breaking history for the first 2 women to be doing a title match in Saudi Arabia. So that's pretty cool. Congratulations to them. And for me, if you want a little tidbit to make it even better, I would throw Carmella in there and be like, listen, Carmella was cheated out on opportunity. And she really did a good job, and she did a good showing of her athleticism and what she's able to do in the ring. She's definitely getting better. And why not give her that shot and make that a triple threat match? Would be ridiculous. It add more value to the match. So, all right, now we're going to end the show. We saw Goldberg this time. He actually was in the stadium, so that was cool. We got to see the whole entrance. Maybe they heard my video last time I was complaining that they did it. I guess they wanted to build it up so that you heard from one end. Now he's actually here because he wants to confront the Fiend, which he actually did, but we'll get into that. So he did his big intro. Now Goldberg was in the ring, and he basically was telling the Fiend he was ready, that he's not ready to play games. And then we see the Funhouse show up, and Bray Wyatt basically does his normal spiel and tries to get in the mind of Goldberg, but it didn't work. But Bray Wyatt did say something that was very interesting, where he said that someone would like to meet you. Lights go out, and as the lights are going out, you can see Goldberg, he was actually smiling like he knew. And then the lights turned on, and he basically on the mic was like, he's behind me, isn't he? And when he turns around, there's the Fiend. But here's what happens. Shockingly, Goldberg takes his advantage and spears the Fiend, knocking the Fiend out. And then the lights go out. They come back on, the Fiend is gone. And Goldberg was in the ring by himself. So, I mean, that was pretty cool to see the Fiend get knocked down. Maybe we can have a new Universal Champion here in the Super Showdown. I guess we're going to find out next week. But overall, I thought that was pretty good promo. I like that we saw the Fiend show up with Goldberg. It definitely was a good selling point for the show coming up this Thursday. So I guess we'll see what happens. All right, now we're going to break down the whole show through all these categories right here. We're going to start with the ref rating. For me, I'm going to give the refs a 5 out of 5. I thought everybody did a great job. You know, SmackDown has good referees. There's so many talented men and women in the business right now, and that's why I'd like to give them credit. They did a great job, 5 out of 5. For the match card rating, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I didn't see any issues with the setup. We did see what happened a little bit with Mandy Rose. I didn't really talk a lot about that. You know, we saw last week with Dolph Ziggler showing up at the date that Otis was supposed to be, but turns out that after Otis was upset, he didn't show up this week on SmackDown, and we saw Tucker confront Mandy Rose and basically told her, hey, you know, he was really upset that he can't even get out of the hotel room to come here today. You know, especially you got the text that you were going to be running late, and then you invite Dolph Ziggler, and she was like, what are you talking about? I didn't text him that I was going to be late. Oh, so that's something that's new. We don't know. Maybe Sonya Deville. Maybe it was Tucker. Who knows? I mean, or maybe it was Dolph Ziggler. We don't know, but I like that, and that's why the match card, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Everything lined up cool. The way they did that was great. For the production value, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I didn't see any issues. I mean, like, there was a few minor things, but other than that, I thought they did a great job. The commentary was great. Overall production of the show was cool. Maybe a couple issues I had with the commercial breaks, but other than that, not important. So 4 out of 5 for the production value. And for the overall show rating, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really good show. SmackDown's been kind of fugazi lately, and I really liked this show. Had a good storytelling, especially towards the Super Showdown. I guess that it's more of like a take-home show for them with this. But I thought they did a pretty good job, so I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5 on that. All right, thanks for watching. If you didn't like anything I said, ratings or reviews, I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a fan.